Hi there, Joka here, and today is release day at Spellbinders, so I have two videos for you. This one is super long, but it is with a huge collection. It's called Stitched Alpha collection, and you can buy each letter separately, and all of them have two dies in the set, one outline and the main die. You can use them separately or together. There's a bunch of ways you can do this, and you can stitch them or you don't have to if you don't want to. And there's also some other pieces in this collection. This one is a two-piece set Glimmer plate, and then these ones are some sentiments, exactly the same as this stem set. Those two Glimmer sets, if that makes sense. So I actually opted to not stitch most of the projects that I created today because I really love the look without the stitching. It's kind of like lace. So of course you can add the stitching, it adds some extra texture, but I think it's very beautiful without it as well. I will show one that I stitched, but other than that, I just created all these cards the same way. So I think I edited out some of those details that I repeated all the time. Here on my first card, I die cut each letter from color cardstock and also from a heavyweight white cardstock, and then also the shadow. Now this one is an older die set, or two of them actually. I will link everything in the description box below. I wanted some tiny flowers because my friend Paige loves flowers, so I wanted to add a lot of flowers for her. And then I kind of color coordinate the flowers with the letters, and then also the background, which I create with the color block shapes, I think it's called. And you can see these flowers are very easy to put together. Some of them are actually, they only have one layer, but I die cut two layers just so that I have a bit more dimension. And what I wanted to say about the alphabet, I also die cut the shadow from white cardstock, but not on all of my cards, I think, as far as I remember, but I will have to see. I edited so many videos the last couple of days that I don't quite remember everything, and I made these projects already, wow, way over a month ago, I think, before I even went on holiday. So yeah. And what I wanted to say, this video is particularly long. I have a surprise project at the end after the cards that I created for myself. And yeah, I hope you check it out. It's just, I'm not gonna show you the whole project or the process because I actually couldn't do it in front of the camera. So but bits and pieces I will show. And now I'm trying to figure out how to arrange these shapes. There's so many ways that you could go about it, and then I just decided on this particular setup, and then gluing down all of them with liquid glue on my slimline card. I think, well, not I think, I actually am sure that I created only slimline cards in today's video. I thought this was perfect for my purposes because these letters are actually quite big. So I think I managed to put maybe 5 of them only on the card, but now you see this. So this is 5 letters and it fills up the complete front. Maybe you could just stack them a little bit and then you manage to get 6 there. But yeah, I did use 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 4 and 5 letter names today. So I did not even add foam tape to this because I wanted my flowers there as well. And if I add foam tape, then they would have been 2-dimensional, I think. This has a nice dimension to it already. So I actually had some of these flowers already die cut before for some previous project from last year. So I used some of those and then I die cut some that were in a different color or I didn't have enough. But I think I didn't even have to die cut leaves because I had enough. These 2 greens are Spellbinders cardstock. The background and the letters, I think the 2 yellow are Spellbinders and maybe, what do I have? No, the other ones are not. Those are just some random cardstock that I have in my stash. And now I'm creating floral clusters on each letter. Mostly I'm just going with a larger bloom and then 2 smaller ones. Just kind of 3. I don't know why I do 3. Probably 1 could also be enough. But I know Paige, she likes, more flowers rather than just a few. So I hope she's gonna like this. She hasn't seen it yet. And then I created cards for my 3 best friends. And originally that was all I was gonna do for this video, but then I realized in April that it was gonna be Mother's Day soon, so I have to create something for my mom. And actually, I think that might be my favorite card from the 4. And then I also added the one project at the end that I was talking about. Well, I hope you will like it. I can't wait to see what you think. It's a super simple project, but it's just something different, not cards this time. Okay, so I apparently left every step in here, but I think maybe the rest of the cards are gonna be shorter. I hopefully edited out all the repetitions, but sometimes I surprise myself. Okay, so this card is almost done. I will actually add some sentiment to each of them, I think. Sentiment. Now I have to think about it. It is called that, right? Anyway, it's really cool that you have these Glimmer sets with it. Okay, so this one is another floral set, I think from a few months ago. It's still my favorite, so I had to use this on my other friend's card. Here I'm not using the shadow die, only the letters. And again, I did not stitch any of them. And I'm just assembling the flowers. And my friend, she loves this color scheme, so that's why I created this. It's not my favorite color scheme, but she does like it. So, I really love creating cards with someone specific in my mind because, then you kind of have a starting point. And I'm always so excited to see what they think. So I actually just sent it to her today and she loved it. So She lives here in my town, but we haven't seen each other in a while because they've been sick. So, you know, I just sent her a card that I miss her. Um, I was gonna say something earlier, but then I got distracted by the new card, and now I have no idea what I started to say. Maybe at some point I'm gonna remember. Anyway, this floral die set I have several videos with on my channel, but I decided to show you anyway in case you didn't watch those, how I put together most of these flowers that are in the set. And now I'm going to add a piece of pattern paper onto my card base, and then I will figure out how to what kind of design I want. On this one, I did not add anything in the background like on the first one. Here I just use this subtle grid pattern paper. And then I kind of follow, from yellow to darker blue, but I also mix in a little bit of yellow around the blue letters as well. I do love I don't know if you guys have seen it, the newest Spellbinders cardstock color. You know that I really am bad at names, but I think it's called something with cloud. I don't know if it, I remember now, it's called Partly Cloudy, I think. It's a beautiful steel blue, so recently I've been using it on all my projects, I think. It's really my most favorite cardstock. Now I just want them to bring out some coral kind of peach kind of colors and eggplant. Maybe I should suggest them to bring out those colors. I don't know. I kind of miss those. Because I really love the quality of these Spellbinders cardstock. They are really thick and they cut nicely, so I would love to have some more color options. Okay, so I'm tucking all these leaves and flowers behind the letters, just creating clusters around them, and then fill up the space above the letters. And once I figure out the main layout around the letters, I am starting to glue down everything. And I am using foam tape just for some of the little ones to add some variations in height and dimension. I love doing this, you guys. I love flowers. You know me, I have to have flowers on everything, I think. All right, so it's nothing very interesting, right? It's me gluing down things, but that's basically all what the card is about: die cutting and gluing, and die cutting is even less interesting. Those I don't even include in the videos anymore because I have my die cut machine somewhere else, not where I do the videos. So even if I wanted to, I just have no space. So okay, so once I glued everything down, I realized that I have these Spellbinders gems that have this, I think they are called sapphire, and they are kind of the same blue as the darkest one, the A. So I thought they would be a good fit, just to add a little bit more texture or a different kind of texture, and then I'm pushing them down. Now, this is the only stitched card that I made for my best friend, and I'll show you quickly how I do this, but it's in several videos and it's super simple. So the way I start out, I anchor my thread this way. I figure, I mean, these stitched dies are often, or die cuts are often small, that there's no space. I don't know how else to do this. I don't like to use tapes on the back, but I think, I don't know, I trust this method the most. And then I just go back and forth between the center and the outside. And why I'm doing, or what you see me do, is that I'm going around twice, because I took apart the floss, so I had only 3 strands instead of 6, because I wasn't sure that the middle hole is going to be big enough for the 6 strands, but it is. So well, it's tight, but I managed to use that. And now every time I finish these with a French knot, and it was super hard to get it through. So it's quite tight. It's probably enough if you just use 3 strands, or maybe 4. But I did use 6 in the end. So and then this is how I finish. Normally I put a knot on it, but it was already so dimensional on the back, and I had to glue that down. So this is what it looks. And I'm only adding liquid glue to the thread and then hold it for quite a long time, and then even put some heavy, something heavy on top of it so that it keeps it in place. In my experience, this works fine. I did this on many stitched projects, because there's no space to add foam tape. I mean, those little spaces there are so small. I know that there are really tiny foam squares that you could use, but my hands are just too big. I just can't deal with that. So this is my solution. I wanted to add some foiled accents to some, like I said, sub-sentiments to most of them, except for this one card. Here I wanted to try to directly foil onto the card front. Usually I stay away from this because I don't know, I'm not so good at foiling, but it turned out great and I really love the result. It's kind of like a copper color or rose gold, and then it's on the barely peach cardstock. I think it's really pretty. And the one thing, and then I'm also creating sub-sentiments for the other cards, and you can see here this whole set is about it's adjectives and you are. So you are wonderful, you are this and that, and so you have to line up you are with the adjective. So this is why I cannot foil them all at once. I have to create them separately. And what I was gonna say about, yeah, the first one, the panel, because it's a slimline card, it's longer than the Glimmer plate. Oh, and I use this older set. I always use this set for every kind of sentiment because it gives such a great finished professional look. So I always use this die set. Mostly, I think there's 3 different sizes in it. Mostly it fits everything. And I die cut a second layer for that. So this is what I wanted to say. Because this panel is longer than the Glimmer plate, I actually had an impression on my card front, but I was lucky because it was actually straight. So what I decided to do to hide that, I added some lines with my bone folder, and I really love that look. And now I actually like it so much that I use it on several cards since then. Okay, so I added that panel to my card base, and now I'm just gluing down the letters. And on this card, I'm going to add the flowers on the left side only, and these flowers are the same as on my second card. I keep forgetting the name. I really feel like I should know this because it's my favorite set. It's something with bold, I think. Oh God, I'm terrible. But I will add everything in the description box. So I die cut these flowers and leaves from these peachy colors, and like I said, I always use this steel blue now. And I was lucky. I wasn't really sure. It's funny. She's been my best friend since we were 15. And I had no idea what her favorite color is. I couldn't believe it, you know, but I was guessing she likes blue. That I don't know, just because I like blue. And yeah, she likes pastel colors. So I actually managed to do the right thing for her. I guess secretly I know her. I just didn't, you know, when I was thinking about what is her favorite color, I had no idea. But I do like this color combination as well. And again, I'm using the sapphire gems. So here are the sentiments. And like I said, I die cut the shape a second time for a second layer because I wanted them to be sturdy. And now I'm adding them onto the card front to finish off these cards. And I'm not even adding enamel dots, surprisingly. On this one, I'm adding some foam tape to create a more dimensional look. And I normally just eyeball this, but I really wanted it to be in the middle, so I used my T-ruler. So this is for my mom, and I am using the same color block shapes, and actually I marked the middle on the card front because I wanted, you know, like a perfect centered look with these. And once I started to add the colors, I realized I didn't quite like the white being a different height. So it wasn't flush with the rest, obviously. So I die cut some of these shapes from white cardstock as well. So I use that as well, like you see there. I really like that look. And I die cut the letters from the same colors as well, and the same flowers again. So basically, I used a very similar products on all of the cards, just different color combinations. I actually had no idea if my mom likes these colors. I just felt like using them because, you know, with her favorite colors, I already did cards, so I just wanted to make sure that I make something that she hasn't had before, but she loved that. So, or this one, because she actually received it a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, but I think this is my favorite one now. I think I did create this month, what was it, I think the large die set cards I created with this color combination as well, but this was the first card that I made with it, actually. Okay, so I'm just creating 2 clusters on either side of those letters, and they are kind of symmetrical, or as much as possible, and they kind of go around the letter, if that makes sense. Now I only remember the German word. Guess what? I never speak German, but now I just remember the German word for this. Never mind. It's like, I really don't know. I wanted to say embrace, but then again, that's something else. Okay, never mind. It will come to me. And yeah, so these are the purple colors that I'm missing from Spellbinders, and the oranges. Okay, so once this card is done, my cards will be done in the video, and then we can move on to the other project. But just wait, because yeah, no, I actually didn't put the photos, the close-ups I put at the end. I thought I might have added them right after the cards, and then you would think that the video is ending. But no, I think I added them at the very end. Okay, so gluing down the last pieces now, and then again I have the sentiment in the middle, and then you can see them all up close, all these dimensions. I hope you like these. I know not everybody likes stitching. Obviously, if you do, you could add stitching. It's, I don't know. I love this collection. I really do. I think that these letters are super versatile, and obviously you could just use one letter on a smaller card. There's like so many endless possibilities. So this is my other project that I created for for our living room. I wanted it to be super simple, since we have boys in the place, right? So it couldn't have been stitched and full of flowers. So I just really wanted to have this graphic look. So I die cut each part of the text from two different colors. The darker color for the shadow, and then the lighter one, the stitched piece. And then I also die cut everything from white heavyweight cardstock, so both parts, the shadow and the other piece as well. And then I layered them all up just so that I had a more dimensional piece and sturdy. They were really, really like, you couldn't even like tear them or anything. They were really nice and hard, so to say. So I went with the rainbow theme, and then I will line up everything to the right. And what I wanted to show you here, I wanted to use some dots at the end of my sentence. And what I did to create those is I die cut the I, and then I die cut, I turned around the paper and die cut the bottom of it with the top of the die, if that makes sense. It's not perfect, but it looks more professional than it would have if I had fussy cut that piece. It just doesn't have the double edge at the bottom like it would have at the top somehow. Maybe you will see that in when I lift it up on the purple. I think it was more visible, but here a little bit. But it's not too bad. And then I created 3 of these to use at the end of my sentence, and mostly I did that because you see, that's the part I was talking about. There's just it's not as pretty as the rest of that shape. So at the end, I added these because my letter there is big and the letter below it did not fit there. And then what I did, I drew all these lines with a black marker on the background, just to add a little bit of contrast to the rainbow colors. And then that's it. I just bought a nice frame, and I framed it, and it's not yet on our wall because we are waiting for our new couch to be delivered, which should have been delivered yesterday actually, but they messed up something. So we will know where we can put all the artwork. You know, I had like a gallery wall, but I kind of wanted to replace some of the artwork, and this was a good well, possibility, or no. Again, I don't remember the word I want to say. God. Anyway, I thought I would create this and make use of this wonderful alphabet, since I have all of them. I hope you like it. I hope I could give you an idea with this or with my cards. I apologize that my video is super long today. The other one will not be as long, but it's still on the long side. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Here are some close-ups of the cards and also of the artwork. I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you very much for watching, and I see you next time. Bye-bye.